it's Alexis Ambitious back with another Measure discussion. Today's topic, crash out culture. Crash out culture didn't come from nowhere. It didn't start with bad decisions. It started with a lack of morals, and it didn't start with music. It started with pressure. Long before the behavior ever showed up, this video breaks down how survival mode creates crash out culture, how entertainment packages that pain, and how the system profits while communities deteriorate. Crash out culture is what happens when people are raised in environments where stability is rare, safety is conditional, and the future feels inaccessible. When survival is constant, long-term thinking disappears. Not because people are irresponsible, but because tomorrow doesn't feel guaranteed. So the brain adapts. Impulse replaces patience. Dopamine replaces discipline. Reaction replaces strategy. This ain't random behavior. This is a survival response. In many Black communities, survival mode isn't temporary. It's inherited. Generations raised under economic instability, over-policing, under-resourced schools, housing insecurity, medical neglect, and limited access to opportunity. When people grow up watching effort go unrewarded, obedience punished, and systems fail repeatedly, hope erodes. And when hope erodes, risk stops feeling dangerous. Why protect a future you don't believe you'll ever access? Crash out behavior fills that void. Again, entertainment is big, especially rap and hip hop. In regards to our culture, the industry doesn't create the pain, but it recognizes it. Young artists come straight out of survival mode. They rap what they know: violence, recklessness, hypermasculinity, drug use, impulsivity, and trauma. At first, it's storytelling. But then the system does what it always does. It monetizes it. The more extreme the pain, the more marketable the product. Crash out behavior became content. Trauma got branded. Self-destruction becomes aesthetic. And suddenly, the most rewarding image of Black success is one rooted in chaos. There's a difference between documenting pain and glorifying it. But the industry blurs that line intentionally. Lyrics turn survival mistakes into flexes. Recklessness turns into credibility. Risk-taking turns into masculinity. The audience doesn't just listen, they learn. Because when trauma is packaged and success, self-destruction starts looking like a pathway. The industry profits, labels cash out, streams climb. But the community, again, absorbs the consequences. Crash out culture doesn't just entertain. It reinforces itself. Young people see attention, money, fame, and status attached to reckless behavior. So crash outs get copied. Not because people want to fail, but because it looks like the only visible route out. The system never highlights discipline. It rarely rewards restraint, and it almost never markets healing, because chaos sells faster. The crash out culture feeds directly into incarceration. Impulses become charges. Moments become records. Records become permanent barriers. The same system that glamorizes reckless behavior then criminalizes the outcome. Police don't show up to prevent harm. They show up to process it. Prisons don't rehabilitate, they warehouse. Families lose parents, children normalize absence, communities lose labor, stability, and leadership. Incarceration doesn't stop crash out culture, it deepens it. This doesn't stay contained either. As crash out behavior spreads, society becomes more reactive, more surveillance, more policing, more punishment, less trust, less empathy. Fear replaces foresight, and every expansion of control shrinks freedom for everyone. Crashout culture becomes the justification for harsher laws, longer sentences, and fewer second chances. The behavior is punished, but the pressure that caused it is protected. Backwards, right? Here's the part nobody ever wants to confront. A population crashing out can't organize. They're distracted, divided, emotionally dysregulated. Crash out culture keeps people reacting instead of strategizing, which makes power impossible to mobilize. You're not just watching crash out culture anymore. You're watching a system manufacture breakdown and then punish people for reacting to it. Crash out culture isn't chaos. It's a predictable outcome of survival pressure, cultural exploitation, and criminalization. Until the pressure changes, the behavior won't. And punishing reactions without addressing causes will never heal communities. If this video resonated with you, be sure to hit subscribe and stick around for our next conversation.